What's up? What's up? What's up? AWO in the house. Aaron Order in the house. How you doing, bud? Bud? How you doing, buddies? No, seriously, what's up, guys? AWO here. Aaron will order. Welcome to Saturday. This is Saturday stream, guys. Welcome to Saturday stream, guys. Yeah, Saturday. I'm a little beat, a little tired today. I mean, I was outside, so in a nice blazing hot sun. So you understand why I may be a little tired. But I'm here, guys, above energy too. But welcome to the Aaron Order. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, going live. Going live. Okay. Live Morgan. Yeah, I'm going live. Morgan. Okay. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Do all that for me, please. Say hello. I know she tore her shoulder a few months ago. I know. I know. I know. Okay, here we go. There we go. Fucking mic here. Man. So yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. We are going. I'm going, and we're gonna look at positive Superman content today. No detracting. We're doing the opposite of detracting. Okay. It turns a strange and deranged father. Okay. Yes. Yes. That's what I thought. Okay. So we're gonna be taking a look at some positive Superman content. What's the title of this stream? Superman positive video reactions. So basically, we're just gonna look at some YouTubers that enjoyed the Superman movie. Okay? That's what we're going to talk about. Positive Saturday. We're going to call this Positive Saturday. Okay? Sunday is going to be negative Sunday. AEW detracts. Maybe that's a new thing. Maybe Saturdays will be the new theme for Saturdays will be positive content, and Sundays will be negative content. What do you guys think? You like that idea? I think we should do that. Clip. I think that's a good idea. I do. I do. I really do. Okay. Now, I'd like to say hi to Red in the chat. He's only one in the chat so far. So Red's my favorite fan right now. He's my number one fan. You're my number one guy right now, Red. You're the only one in the chat right now. Okay? My number one guy. You're the Bob. You're the Bob to my Joker. Okay? Bad idea. Okay? Okay, you're the Bob to my Joker. That's what you are, Red. Okay? Detracting Sunday and Diddy Monday. No, I don't. I do not stream on. I do not stream on Mondays on this channel. You know that. You know that. You know that, right? You know I don't stream on this channel on Mondays. Okay? I stream on my other channel the wrestling channel on Sundays. So I'm on Monday. Sorry. Okay. Okay. You're interested in Jenny to my Hunter Helmsley? You didn't even say Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You said Hunter Helmsley. Like, what the hell? Where's Degrassi? Is Degrassi here? Where's Sideways? Where's 56K? Where's Blinded? Where's everybody? Where's my gang? Where's all my Superman fans, too? Yeah, it's not my Diddy day. But where's my Superman fans? Where's my my crew, the cult? Okay, where's the cult? Call them out. I know. The cult. I'm calling out the cult. You know what happens when they don't? You know what happens when they don't come into the chat? The cult leader, me, has to punish them. I have to punish them. It's a rule. Right? I have to punish them. And so far, we're gonna wait an hour before we're gonna wait an hour before we get to this. Okay? We're gonna pull a Tony. We're gonna pull a Flock Tony and wait a while before we get to the main topic. Okay? No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna pull a Tony. We're not gonna pull a Tony. Okay? Unless you want me to. Okay? So I'll do it. I'll pull a Tony if I have to. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm not pulling a Tony. So I'm gonna do the stream until Gabbing with Geeks. Tony has his night stream, and I know Red, pull up Tony. And I know Red has plans to watch UFC tonight, right? UFC tonight. I know Red has plans to watch UFC. Okay. But so I'm gonna pull this up right now, and if people show up, they show up. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Oh my god. All right. So pull up, guys. Who's gonna join? I don't really care about the last 3 fights today. Yeah, that's what UFC is, man. The main card, the pay-per-view card, not the preliminaries. All right. Sasha Doxy UFC card right after, arguably. This is their best one. Sasha Doxy UFC card right after, arguably their best one last month. You're shaking your head, huh? You're shaking your head. Okay. So who is this? This is let me get rid of the banner. Not this. This is from who is this? World of Geekdom. Okay. World of Geekdom. You might have heard of them. More into anime, Dragon Ball Z specifically. Okay. TJ's in the house. Okay. So we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna talk about a few videos for a couple hours, and then end it before Tony's stream. I think Tony is doing it at 9 o'clock my time. I gotta check Tony. When is he doing it? Because I know Blinded plans to be on his stream. Let me check very briefly if he has set up his stream for tonight. Yeah, he has set up a stream for tonight. Okay. All right. I didn't tell you to pull up. I told Tony. I said I'm gonna pull Tony and wait an hour before I get into the topic. That's what I said. That's all I said. That's all I said. All I said was, well, I said I'm gonna wait an hour before I get into this. I'm just, I'm not doing that. I made that as a joke. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. This is from Geekdom. What is his name again? Geekdom. You might have heard of this guy. Mostly does anime, but has another channel where he discusses movies and wrestling. Okay, so this review, I think, is the second time he's seen it. The second time, and he loved it the second time. So let's see what he has to say on his second review. Better the second time. So that's already a positive.
Guns Superman is out now in theaters. Don't forget to check out the DC Studios Showcase podcast. If you want to keep up with not only news about upcoming DC projects, but you can learn a lot about not just Superman, but everything that's being put out there from DC.
I fucking don't listen to the podcast. Gabby the Geese has to go back on the back burner this week. Well, Finbar cannot defend his title on Gabby Geeks. He's not around. So, Finbar. Finbar. Finbar is the vacant champion now, right? He can't show up, so we have to take his title away. Or, okay.
Hosted by Frankie Smith, Tyler Coates, as they are joined alongside their comic correspondent, Coy Jandreau, who knows a heck of a lot about comics, as they discuss the film, discuss the story going into the movie.
Yeah, this guy. This guy. I think I mentioned this guy last night. I just got the name wrong. But this is the guy I was trying to mention last night. The Moon Knight, season 2 rumor. This is the guy. Okay, this is the guy.
Exclusive interviews and exclusive information on the DC Studios Showcase podcast. I'll leave a link in the description. Check them out. Okay, so I saw Superman a second time. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had a bunch of friends tell me that, oh, well, I think you'll like Superman more when you see it the second.
Cosplay button tonight. Oh, is cosplay the asses tonight? The butt challenge? He can't defend his title, so we'll have to crown a new interim champion until Finbar comes back. So okay. Okay. Fuck, if it's cosplay, I'm fucked over, man. I'm done. Superman is better the more I think about it. Okay, let's see what Geekdom he has to say.
In time. And sometimes movies are like that, because in my review for the film that I did here on the channel, I liked the movie a lot, but I didn't really love it. Like, it has some issues. It kind of threw me.
Okay, I'll be honest. I did not watch his first review, so I'm sorry. Like, I didn't watch his first review, so I'm kind of going over. I'm kind of skipping that, I guess. So whatever.
For a loop. After seeing it a second time, things like, it's not that my opinion changed. I still don't love this movie as much as I do the Richard Donner movies. And I still think that had I been in charge, I would have done something a bit different. But I do notice upon second viewing.
You hope Toy becomes the interim champ? My God, why are you not cheering for me?
I did notice some things that I did not notice the first time, which usually that happens with a lot of great movies. A lot of great movies, every time you watch them, you notice something or you appreciate something that you never saw or appreciated before. I mean, Pulp Fiction, I've talked about it. It's my favorite movie of all time. Every time I watch that movie, and at this point it's been hundreds of times, I learn something new or I witness something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Sometimes sometimes you have to watch a movie more than once to sometimes understand because you might catch something that you didn't catch the first time. Usually, no, Tony. All I said, Tony, I was gonna get into my topic. I was gonna do like with 45 minutes an hour before going to my topic, like you did a couple streams ago with Sturgis. That's all I said. Red just making shit up. Pull up. I'll pull up tonight. Okay. That's all I said. I was gonna wait 45 minutes an hour before I get into this. But I was just doing that.
New, like I appreciate something new. And with Superman, I think what happened here was that because the movie drops you in mid fight, Superman's already been around 3 years. Oh wait, actually, spoiler alert. I'm gonna go into spoilers for the movie.
Yeah.
So if you
The
haven't
thing
seen,
is, most superhero movies I'll say at the beginning of most superhero movies, you don't see the hero being. You don't see the hero. He. Yeah, pull up. You don't see that. You don't see, most in the superhero movies. I said I was gonna pull a Tony. That's what I meant. But in most superhero movies, you don't see the hero being in the beginning and such being beat so bad, defeated like that, defeated like that. Okay, especially for a beginning movie, a beginner. Not I don't mean Superman as a beginner, but a movie that's supposed to set off a new direction for a new universe for the DCU. You don't really see that. It's rare, very extremely rare. Okay, because most superhero movies are extremely cliche, right? Extremely cliche. Yeah, you barely see heroes struggle anymore. And in most comic book movies, there's 3 or 4 major battles. I'll say most likely random 3. Okay, the first, the first, the first battle, the hero wins, is victorious. The second battle, the villain wins. The third battle, the hero usually wins. That's the standard formula with superhero movies. I said I'm gonna pull it, Tony. I didn't say pull up. Okay.
yet, click off the video, okay? All right, just letting you know. So the fact that Lex already hates Superman, the fact that Clark is already with Lois, like all those things kind of threw me off. And for a while, like the first half of this movie has such a brisk pace that it's almost like your brain is trying to catch up. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like I'm enjoying the visuals. It's a visual spectacle. The movie should be seen in.
They both like wrestling for a while, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And the opening, I wouldn't call it a crawl like Star Wars, but the opening, the words at the beginning, describing, basically giving a brief introduction to this new universe, and an introduction to Superman. That explained that Superman, this is his first loss, really his first loss at the beginning of Superman, to the Hammer aka Ultraman, aka Bizarro in the future.
IMAX or Dolby if you haven't had the chance to do that yet. But I feel like, it kind of just goes 600 miles, an hour, and you're trying to like kind of get your bearings. So already knowing that, I think made the second viewing a bit better. Also, I really appreciated Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. I really like what he brought to the character. My favorite is still Clancy Brown, but like that didn't change. I don't think this Superman movie has superseded.
Let you know, Red. I sent him the link to my YouTube channel. Okay, I sent him the link to this video, to this stream.
Pun intended, my love for the animated series, which is phenomenal, the old WB one, and my love for the Richard Donner ones. And it's not nostalgia. I did watch all that when I was a kid, but a couple years ago went.
If they didn't already have My Adventures of Superman, I would recommend the animated prequel in the same animation style as Creatures Commandos to cover Superman's early days meeting Lois. They could have done a prequel comic like they did with Fantastic Four, maybe, or something like that. But DC decided to go against that. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four did a prequel comic, but Superman, they could have done a prequel comic, maybe in the future, but I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter. Most of the people who see this movie are not going to buy the comic anyway, so I don't think it would matter anyway. I probably would read it.
Back to rewatch Superman the animated series, and I actually liked it more than I did when I was a kid. I got to appreciate it more because there's a lot of great stories that are in that show. Like, it really is. I don't know if I put it as good as Batman the animated series, but it is along the same vein. Saying how it's Bruce Timm, so
it's not as good as the Batman animated series. That Superman animated show in the 90s, it was good. The unfortunate problem was, I think it only had 3 seasons. The animated Superman only had 3 seasons, I believe. It was actually a short-lived show. Batman was longer, but the thing with Batman, we all know became the Batman Robin and Adventures of Batman, and the whole the design of the animated Batman later on, right? The different coloring, different design, the different coloring. Characters look different. Like Joker had no fucking color. Remember, they made Joker completely white and black, kind of. No freaking green hair, no red or anything. Remember that? Remember how bad they made the Batman anime series at the end with the different design? The villains were bad. The way they changed the villains was horrible. Was horrid. Yeah, Batman season was horrid. The only design that worked was Bruce Wayne, really. Was Bruce Wayne. I remember what the Joker looked like. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Joker has no fucking color. And there's the other back Scarecrow. Yeah, the Scarecrow was good. Then you had the original Scarecrow in the beginning, but that was not good. Leatherface Scarecrow. Yeah, that was a good one. But you had a Catwoman look terrible. It was just when they changed it, it was just so bad looking animated. It was just so bad. I couldn't watch it. And Superman was not a long ass show either. It didn't last that long either. But then a few years later, they came up with Justice League, right? Justice League. And that show, despite being a short show, I think Justice League might have 2 or 3 seasons. How long did Justice League show have? not the movie show. The original Justice League show, how many seasons did it have? 2 seasons, and then it became Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited after 3 seasons. So so Justice League technically had like 5 seasons, then rebranded Justice League Unlimited, right? So 3 seasons, then rebranded as Justice League Unlimited, so 5 seasons, right? Mr. Freeze was trash. Hey, Degrassi. But yeah, it's animation. No, the thing is, you have to understand animation. Most animated shows don't last that long, right? I mean, Simpsons and Family Guy are the most successful animation shows. Period. In terms of longevity, Simpsons is almost 40 years old. Simpsons came out 88, 89. When did Simpsons come out? 89. Simpsons is almost 40 years old. Okay. Follow me, Red. Follow me. I know you don't. Okay. But animation, because animation it's harder to do animation, right? It's harder to do animation, right? Okay. It's harder to do animation. Harder.
One of the things I wanted to discuss about this viewing of Superman was how much I liked Guy Gardner the second time
Gardner.
too. I do kind of wish they would, and they probably will, give him his own movie at some point.
You're not gonna get.
Girl didn't
You're
really.
not gonna give Gardner his own movie. Guy Gardner is not the kind of character that gets his own solo movie. Like seriously. Okay. Guy Gardner is not going to get his own movie. I like this guy's takes on stuff, his wrestling takes, and some of his pop culture takes. But yeah, Guy Gardner is not going to get his own movie. Sorry. I'll give him a wench. All right. Good question. I can't give. But yeah, I mean, like, Guy Gardner is not going to get his own movie. Sorry. If there's going to be a movie with the lanterns in it, it's going to be lanterns. It's not going to be like. It's not going to be like based on one Green Lantern. It's going to be. I think it's going to be more of the whole corpse. The corpse. Yeah, Green Lantern corpse. Oh, not okay. They're Lantern corpse. Okay, it's not gonna be Guy Gardner movie. It's not gonna do. They're not gonna come on. Like seriously, you got Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner. You're gonna give Guy Gardner his own movie? Really? That's not how you build a Justice League. Okay, a Justice League. If you want to build a Justice League, it has to be either Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. Yeah, Red's my boss. Okay.
Get too much to
That's not me detracting this guy. I'm sorry. I just disagree.
work with, but Guy Gardner is a lot of fun. Mr. Terrific was obviously a character that is not very well known, not very popular.
Same with Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is not very well known, no. I mean, right? He's not very well known. I'm sure Degrassi, there's more than 3 lanterns and lanterns, but Guy Gardner's not gonna get his own solo anything, right? That's
But a character that James Gunn, James Gunn's really good at taking some of these.
Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific will definitely. Will EVS's Lantern Corps be that he created be in the Lanterns movie? I'm gonna say yes. That movie, Mr. Terrific. I'm gonna say EVS's creation. I'm gonna say that when I'm gonna say EVS's creations will be involved in the DCU because he has created some pretty cool him and Jeff Johns create cool Lantern characters. I mean, Jessica Cruz, Darfleece, what else? Atrocitus, yeah. See, like, yeah. I mean, DC is still paying him. If they're using those characters in the comics, they still have to give him royalties. Yeah, St. Davis Dexter. They don't care if they give him. They don't care, man. They'll just. I mean, he doesn't really. He doesn't own the characters. He doesn't own the characters, right? DC owns the characters, so they can do what they want with them. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, he is exceptional. Yes, yes, Degrassi. Agreed.
B and C level characters and really using them. And I saw he was doing that with this movie. You know, it was a lot easier to bite. Also, when I said this movie's a cartoon, that still stands. And that's going to turn off some people. Unquestionably, it's
Why is this movie a cartoon? Not so the Marvel movies are not a cartoon. I can easily say Thor movies are a fucking cartoon. The way it's been produced by Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi has definitely made his Thor movies like a fucking cartoon. Yeah. Yeah, they're just giving royalties. That's it. Yeah. It's Shane Davis, Earth One. Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. So of course, I mean, look, of course, I mean, like, come on, with the Marvel movies, I mean, this is not really detracting, and this is a positive, but this is a positive stream. But I mean, the Taika Waititi Thor movies, they feel like a cartoon.
going to turn off some people.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder
And
for sure.
that's just something that, it's just the way it is. But it being
You know, it was a cartoon. Batman Robin and Batman Forever. That felt like a cartoon, very cartoonish. And the thing is, no, we haven't seen Batman yet, so we can't compare the DCU Batman film, if that's cartoonish. I mean, Superman's always been cartoonish, so you can easily say, are people out going to be upset? I mean, Christopher Reeve's Superman, that was very cartoonish too. You could say, is that a really stupid thing to say? It's very cartoonish. I mean, the original Superman is very cartoonish. There was him being clumsy, his jokes not landing, him being teased by Lois. Some of the villains' jokes were, very cheesy. And yeah, Superman 3 and 4 got rid of it cartoonish. Those are bad, right? But even if the first two Supermans are kind of cartoonish. I mean, sorry. And we loved them. We loved them. And I hope we loved them. Yeah, Lion King movies are still cartoons. Yeah. That Phosphorus episode, Creature Commandos, tells you everything you need to build DCU Gotham. And he's going to be buffed. He is going to be buffed. I know.
cartoon brought back those memories of the animated series. Also, this has happened before. When I first watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I was like,
But, okay. But the Super animated show, that version of Superman, besides the clumsiness, that was inspired by definitely Christopher Reeve's Superman. Okay? That Superman was the Christopher Reeve Superman inspired by the comics, but that Superman in the show That was very inspired by Christopher Reeve's Superman. The parallel, besides the clumsiness, what he does on purpose, is so obvious. Okay? Superman is always cartoonish. Exactly. Okay? I mean, look at super sci-fi action horror is the mandate for the DCU Batman. Well, Batman should be Batman can fit in so many different genres. I mean, he could do sci-fi, he could do crime and thriller, he could do horror, right? He fits in many elements. Well, genres. Elements is not the right word. Nor Clark Kent. But you can really tell that the animated version of Superman, Clark Kent, that's very inspired by Christopher Reeve's version. Okay? But Luthor wasn't. Luthor was it was different. Lex. Batman is more versatile. I mean, Superman has at times been involved in supernatural and other stuff. He has. It's just that Batman. There's more stories that are going to turn to Batman that's more versatile than Superman. Like Superman has done stuff that's outside of alien science fiction. It's just that he's just not as versatile as Batman. Batman's involved with a lot more stories and involving different multiple genres.
That was good, but the first one's better. And when I saw Guardians 2 the second time, I really liked it more because I got to really focus in and hone in on that father son storyline between Star Lord and Eve.
Yeah, Superman is vulnerable to magic. Correct, exactly. So that's why he struggles against Black Adam at times because Black Adam is a magic user, right? Luthor went back to his mad scientist roots in this movie. Not just a mad scientist, but a mad business tycoon too. Okay? He's not an incompetent $1 billion owner. He's not Elon Musk. He's not like Trump where somebody's just seem incompetent. He's not like that. Alright? He's not like that. You don't have to. I mean, no, cosmic. You could do Parasite. Could be like a horror character. You could definitely do Parasite as a horror like character. Superman and Batman fight vampires. Yeah, and they have stories of Batman taking on Dracula, time from time to time. It's cool. And there was an animated movie where Batman took on Dracula. That was cool too.
Ego, and that really became like the crutch of the film. And I realized that the very same thing happened here. Main character finds out that his parents are actually douchebags, his biological parents, and thus has to deal with the fact that he comes.
This has, I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Mystic is a cosmic entity, but he's more of a comedic. Like, I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know if James Gunn's an anime fan. I don't know if he's into anime, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, did you know there's a fifth dimensional imp in Superman? Yes, there is. Yes, that scene where he told the Justice Gang can handle it. Yeah, yeah. But from the Ice Cream Team gets into that title. So I don't know if James Gunn's in the anime. Okay, I don't know if he's a Dragon Ball Z fan or a Dragon Ball fan because Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball does seem like the kind of type of humor that he would be into. Actually, I think he'd be into that humor. But if you know Goku, Goku is an alien sent from Planet Vegeta, right? Planet Vegeta blows up, Frieza blows it up, blah blah blah, right? Gets sent to Earth, right? The plan was for him to take over Earth, right? Take over Earth, destroy and take over Earth. As Saiyans' kids are sent to other planets to take over, right? Even though Planet Vegeta was dead. So Goku was sent to Earth to take over Earth because Earth is weak, and Goku at birth was perceived weak by the Saiyans, so they sent him to a planet that's weaker than him. So once Goku was on Earth, he is founded in a space pod by by an old man named Gohan. Gohan. Like he took Goku and started raising him as a raising him. And as a kid, Goku was a little wild. He was wild, right? He was a wild baby child. But accidentally, he fell and hit his head, and the violence just went away. Just went away. And then Gohan started raising Goku in a more loving, free spiritual nature. So, okay. There's also Dragon Ball, and then he had his tail, and he wondered why he had his tail. It didn't make sense to Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z came along. Raditz told him about. Raditz is his actual brother. Vegeta tells him what the Saiyans are. So, like, this is actually. He actually, with Superman, they might have stole the idea from Goku. Now, some people will say Goku is inspired by Superman, the character, and there's a little bit of inspiration. I'm not sure if Akira Toriyama. I mean, some people will say he's inspired by Journey to the West, but Akira Toriyama might be inspired by Goku, by Superman. I don't know. But like sometimes some people mistake Goku as the Japanese Superman, right? Like, right? The Japanese, there's Superman. So to do it in here to change it with his parents, his biological parents sending to Earth the mission to go. It's quite interesting. Like it's a twist, right? It's a twist. Now, what that could do for the future, how does that play to Supergirl? I hope they continue with that belief in Supergirl because, yeah, definitely more than Superman: The Journey to the West. I think so too, but I hope with Supergirl that twist. Dragon Ball Evolution. Don't remind me of that crappy movie. Oh, by the way, you know Disney still has the rights to make the Dragon Ball movies, right? You know that, guys, right? You know Disney can make the Dragon Ball movies, live action Dragon Ball movies, but they're not going to. Uh, but I do wonder how they're going to use the parents the Bible. Jor-El and his mother's the twist there in Supergirl, because I'm interested in how if Supergirl knew ahead of time, or Supergirl knew or not didn't know, and Supergirl's parents, who obviously are in the same family. I hope Supergirl does play upon that. James Gunn would make a good Dragon Ball movie. Yeah, I actually think he would, cause I actually do think he'd be a good Dragon Ball director. For sure. I mean, I think anything is better than Evolution. Anything is better than Evolution because that was trash. Evolution was trash as oh, that was an insult to Akira Toriyama's legacy. that movie. Okay. Let's continue.
Comes from a lineage that's not necessarily the most just, but yet Superman is still out there
America,
saving
Japan.
people and doing the right thing in spite of his parents' orders. And I loved at the end of the film when he's like, I want to see my parents, and it shows the Kents instead of the L's.
You look like
I
fucking
love that.
smash.
That right there, you know what it is? That is what Rise of Skywalker tried to do with Rey
Oh,
Skywalker and failed miserably.
oh,
The idea that you can overcome your bloodline and that you don't have to follow in the footsteps of your bloodline if they do bad things is a very real story. Guardians 2 told it, and so did Superman.
yeah.
Rise of Skywalker was trying to tell it, but it came off so.
The Kryptonian parents' twist means Zod would just be normal Kryptonian instead of an evil, meaning Zod will follow Krypton's traditions. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. You're right. See, the funny thing is, that's exactly Man of Steel. Zod, that's exactly like it's funny. Kind of like Man of Steel, right? Because Zod, I mean, the thing about Man of Steel, Superman, Clark Kent was the, or Kal-El was the first natural-born Kryptonian that can make a choice of what he wanted to be. But all the other Kryptonians were was ready made for them, right? Ready program made for them, right? So Zod, hit Zod, he was programmed, he was made to protect Kryptonians. His duty was to Kryptonians and Krypton, right? Any means necessary. I'm like, dude, like, okay. I mean, you, you remember that with the Kodaks and all of that? And James Gunn just got rid of that. Just James Gunn got rid of that idea because it is kind of a stupid idea. Okay. As much as the Snyder Bros complain, and there's a lot of Snyderism in this new movie. Well, they're blind. Yeah, that's true. They're blind. This definitely is.
Forced and so disingenuous that nobody bought it. It actually pissed them off. Here, though, it really shows that Superman's parents are not the ones that created him biologically, but the ones that raised him up to be a good man.
Yeah, so that's the point of the movie. That's the point of the movie. Actually, it's not who gave you birth, right? It's not who gave you birth. It's the ones who raised you. And that's a very that's and yes, he's an alien from another planet, raised by humans. But that can happen in real life. Your biological parents could be jerks, scum. But you could be raised by non-blood people, like family. What's the saying about family, right? Family is thicker than blood, right? Not family doesn't mean you have to have the same blood or same genetics, right? I mean, right? Okay, all right. Uh, okay, like that's the point of this movie. It's not. It's the one of the points of the movie is not. It's it's about what the birth. It's not about what the birth parents believe. It's what good parents believe. Good role models believe, right? Okay, you can have crappy parents that raise you wrong, want you to do wrong, bad things. But then you can have somebody, you can be close to other people in your life that treat you well, respect you, that treat you right from wrong. That's more like family, right? That's family, right? Okay, yeah, Red, I kind of agree, yeah. All right. Okay? Family is not always Son Wukong and Kokobite is literally Goku's Kakarot. Family is not always blood.
The only thing I will say about my second viewing of Superman that I think did not change and actually was worse the second time is that I still don't buy that the entire world turned on Superman and just saw that footage of his parents and just flipped on him. Like I said in my review, I've seen cancel culture do that to people, but not on this level because Superman had been saving people for years. So even if like if I know someone who's a hero, right? Whether it be in real life.
But it's clearly you could clearly tell. I mean, I think you could clearly tell in the film. You could clearly tell in the film not everybody turned on Superman. Okay. Not everybody turned on Superman. The whole entire world turned on Superman. Not everybody turned on Superman, man. Uh, okay. Okay. Not everybody turned on Superman, though.
Life or in the fictional world, they are a heroic, good person. They've done good things for people. And I find out their parents are douchebags. That does not mean that they're douchebags. That does not mean that.
Here's the thing. Thank you, Degrassi. That's a great point. It is a great point. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What do I know this? What do I know is really, really good people. People do all the right things. You know, they say all the right things. They're nice, right? They donate to charity. They give jobs, whatever. All the nice things. They seem all nice. Nothing seems wrong with them. But I noticed that one thing to do wrong in this world, it can ruin everything. It can ruin everything. Ruin everything. People will turn on you like that. People will turn on you like on a. It happened. So I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised to turn on Superman. I mean, it happens in real life. You can do all this good stuff, One thing could ruin all of that. One thing. One thing. It doesn't even need to be accumulation of things leading up to that. All it takes is one thing. One thing. Yeah, plus you need to pay attention to Luther's language. He said he groomed us. He has harem. Yeah, he played us. He manipulated us. He seduced us, right? Believing all of this, the things he does is because he wants people to believe him only. See, exactly. Exactly. See, like that's the real world, man. It happens, man. It's Luther's effectiveness of cancel culture. The thing about Luther is he can't beat Superman in the fight. He can't singularly handle Superman in the fight. Okay, he can't take him on in the fight and exert his dominance in a fist fight. Okay. So, but the one thing he can do is get over Superman is make him look bad in front of the world. Okay, and he has done that before in different incarnations, in different mediums, in the comics, in the movies, animated TV shows, animated movies. He's done that. Okay, he's done that. Luther knows Luther knows taking him head on, even though he has, it's most likely a death sentence for him. It's a suicide for him. So, and the thing is, killing him, yeah, he wants to kill Superman, but ruining his reputation in the world, it's a bigger fu, a bigger fu than just killing Superman to him. Okay, it's worse than death. Okay, ruining his reputation in the world is bigger than just Luthor wanting to kill Superman. Okay, of course he wants Superman dead, but making Superman look bad, it's much bigger fu. It's a much bigger fu to Superman. It's like, yeah, I got you this time, man. You may be stronger than me. You may be able to run faster than me. You may be able to fly. You may be able to shoot heat vision out of your eyes, but you're not able to. But you were not able to. Not able to get this over me with, right? But I was able to ruin your reputation in front of the whole fucking world. You could do all this stuff. You could do all that stuff. You could save lives. But this one thing that goes wrong for you, everything goes sour in the negative direction. I got this W over you. This is the biggest L you could go. It's like how the leader wanted to humiliate Ross and Cap Ford. Exactly. Humiliation is sometimes the best revenge, right? Luther is cunning. There's a reason why he referred to himself as the greatest criminal mind there is. Okay. Oh man, stretchy stretch.
At all. You don't have to be like your parents. That's the message of the
Without a reputation, a rep, right? A good rep, you're really nothing. What is as a cunning stunt? Yeah. What is all you have left is your name. Okay? Okay, you can say Superman is not arrogant, not arrogant or anything like that. But Superman is a little arrogant. In the sense where why does Superman need to be arrogant? He needs people, he needs to be liked. Gymcast guy? What happened to Gymcast guy? He needs to be liked. That's his form, that's the arrogance. The arrogance that Superman has. He needs to be liked. Okay? I'm not saying loved, but he needs to be liked. Okay? At least respected, even by his detractors. Because the negativity towards him does affect him. Does really affect him. He's not like Batman, where Batman just ignores that. Okay?
of the arc
Maybe he does get the Batman. Batman just hides it better.
of the Superman character. But for the people to just turn on him, like, bro, this guy's been saving lives for years. You see one piece of footage of his parents, suddenly you want to throw trash at him? And then when you throw trash,
Welcome to the real world, man. Life is like that. Superman wants to fit in. Exactly. Real life like that. You can do all this good shit in your life. Good shit. One bad thing, one mistake could ruin you like that. Okay? Can ruin you like that. That's the thing, man. It's the thing about the world. It's like that. Human nature is like that. Lex calls the cops on Superman when Kal pulls up to Lex first meet and greet and gives away Lex first merch from outside the window where Luthor is. Yeah, I heard that's true. He wants to be accepted. Lex, Blinded is attracting that bum again. Yeah. Are you on Gabby tonight, Blinded? Okay. Like, what? Okay. All this goodwill you brought up, one bad thing could derail all that goodwill. Okay? It happens. It happens. It happens. People, I will realize people are not as forgiving as you think at times, okay? But Superman is all about forgiveness too. He's all about forgiveness. Even to his worst enemies, forgiveness.
At him, you're provoking him into actually taking over. He's been there for 3 years and has not conquered the planet. Yet you don't even see that. That was stupid. That is the one part of the plot that I think is lazy. I don't think that.
I mean, they didn't do it in the Christopher Reeve movie. Right? You think you think they could have done it in the Christopher Reeve movie? Have them? Oh, he is so powerful. He's going to take over the planet.
Was executed well. I actually think Snyder executed it a little bit better because there was like a mix of people who believed in Superman and those who didn't.
But
This
there are
movie,
still people that believe in Superman. 3 years plan to take over. Yeah. Look at the Dark Knight. Why do I feel like this is turning into an attractive video? This should not be. This can't be too careful with illegal aliens. I mean, this is not supposed to be detracting. Why am I detracting a positive video? Look at the Dark Knight. The lengths they had to go through to keep Harvey's reputation. Yeah. And Batman was willing to take the fall for it, right?
felt like 95% of the world just flipped on him after a piece of footage came out from his parents. That's the one thing that I think the repeat viewing did not help for me. The movie itself, though, was still a lot of good. That is the one big flaw of the story. Part of me still.
But what do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? Show everybody in every country and what they think of Superman after his parents exposed, his biological parents exposed the plans that his biological parents wanted to have him do for Earth. You want him to go to every like? I'm sorry. Why am I detracting this? But what do you want me to do? So every single person in every single country, you know what? Justice Gang over him. Yeah. There was mixed feelings about Superman. That's why people, and you see the reaction the Justice Gang got. They got a huge reaction. They got a huge cheers from the Justice Gang when they showed up.
Wants to see like what happened during those 3 years. I want to see more with Lois, and Jimmy Olsen actually had something to do. And that it's hard when they make these Superman movies to give Superman's like side crew stuff to do, like Jimmy Olsen, Perry, the people who work under Clark. Also, I
work under Clark. Oh, I know what you mean. Oh, by the way, Perry, they didn't give Perry anything to do. What did Perry do? What did Perry do in this film? Like same actor did more in Captain America. No, and Thunderbolts that he did in this film. And Thunderbolts, he was there for the first 20 minutes and hasn't been but he hasn't been seen in the last. I don't know how long was Thunderbolts. 2 hours. Rest of the film, he actually did more in that 20 minutes, I would believe, than he did as Perry White here. Like the same actor, and those two movies combined, I would say he had like 10 minutes of screen time. Literally, maybe even less than 10 minutes of screen time. Two comic book movies, same actor, 10 minutes of screen time. Combined, maybe even less. As Zaki Degrassi, Perry doesn't really do much in any Superman movie.
wish I had more Clark Kent scenes because let me tell you, this is the closest they've gotten to Christopher Reeve. Not quite there, but Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent is the best Clark Kent in my opinion. So, yeah, Superman 2 better the second time. So, check it out. Those are my thoughts. Take care.
All right. So that's one positive review. I got about an hour before. Yeah, okay, so let's find something else. Remember Zack Snyder casted our first spring. as Corey Perry. Crazy, huh? Corey Perry, the hockey player? Yeah. The hockey player? Okay, let's go find something. This movie isn't called Perry White. Get your own fucking movie, Perry. Perry? Get your own fucking movie. Alright, let's see what else is there. Go to Campia. Let's go to Campia. Let's see how much he fell in love with the movie, because I know he did. I haven't watched his. I don't think I actually watched his review on it. So let's see how much. Let's see how much Campia fell in love with this. Oh, it's 30 minutes long.
I can't believe is myself, Ray, Ann, our friends Matt and Jay Lynn, Tommy and Ryan.
Drunk Bob. So this is actually 30 minutes long. Most comic book movie ever. I hate to say it, but no. I love this movie, but the Deadpool movies, they're a lot more comic booky. I'm sorry. They're a lot more comic bookies. They're a lot more comic booky. The Deadpool movies are a lot more comic booky than Superman. I'm sorry. It's a fact.
Went out to dinner first, got ourselves stoked up, walked up the stairs, went into the theater, and we watched Superman.
Good for you.
Now, I should point out right now, the people have spoken. I put this out on social media. We'll bring it up right here. As of right now,
it's 93% Rotten Tomatoes, 83 critics, 93 audience score right now.
5%, which I believe is a number you called out yesterday, Rob. I predicted 82%. You predicted 85.
Settle down, yeah.
And here we are at 85. So the critic score is 85%. The audience, the verified audience score, 96%. You know, it's funny. I was just talking on the show yesterday. We're talking about audience scores, and I said, I never really pay much attention to even Rotten Tomatoes audience score unless it's below 60. I start getting a little concerned if it's below.
Oh, is there a spoiler review? No, I know there's a spoiler review, but I think it was a stream.
Below 60.
Yeah.
But I don't really get impressed or take note unless it's over 90. Because I won't go into the whole thing again, but I don't really take notice unless it drops below 60 or goes over 90. This thing's at 96% right now, with well over 1,000 fans.
Okay, so Russo's confirmed. Matt Shakeman confirms that the Russos directed Fantastic Four post-credits scene. Okay, obvious. Thank you. Yeah. Just like Thunderbolts. It is Thunderbolts. Does the baby survive?
Fans who went to go see the screenings last night, registering their votes, saying they like it. People like Superman. It just is what it is. There are going to be some people out there that try to paint a narrative that it's divisive. It's not divisive. Clearly, like any movie, there are going to be people that do like it and don't. There's going to be some people that don't like it. Movies are art. Art is subjective. It hits us all in different ways. There are going to be some people that don't like the film, and there's nothing.
I think Superman is scathing indictment of the superhero movie in general as a whole. Not a parody, really, satire. Maybe either way. I actually think it's high American art. I don't know if it's high American art. I mean,
nothing wrong with that. But don't buy into anybody trying to pitch you a narrative that this movie is divisive.
Yeah.
96% ain't divisive.
5 to 6%. Come on. You're just loud.
Yeah. 60 to 40 is divisive. 55 to 45, that's divisive. 85%, 96% is not divisive. But What would we think about it? Because I've had some movies that have had high scores that I've not liked. I've particularly had in the last month and a half a number of films I've been very excited about that I ended up walking out disappointed with. Jurassic, what's that?
Birth.
Oh, yeah. Jurassic World Rebirth, Megan 2.0, which I was excited about, and I did not like that movie. Even 28 years later, that I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think 20 years later, but I was hoping for a lot better. What would Superman do? Superman delivers. Superman delivers. It was, I said in my out of the theater reaction last night that it delivered joy, it delivered excitement, it delivered fun, it delivered heart, and it delivers hope. It was the Superman that I think the world of movies really needs right now. Now listen, you guys know I am a massive fan of Man of Steel. And I actually had somebody say to me, how can you like Man of Steel and like and like this Superman?
It's ridiculous.
It's the same.
I tell you one thing, Doctor Doom will probably be in the after credit scene because apparently the after credit scene in Fantastic Four was shot during the beginning of Doomsday film when they started filming Doomsday. The after credit scene was filmed during the beginning of Doomsday being filmed. Yeah. Hi, American art. Not art. Hi. If this is not high art, it has to be high art. Let me read this again. All right, let me read this again. Maybe we'll be. Maybe we'll, I think Doctor Doom will be in it. All right. Yeah, they were Degrassi. Yeah, both of them were. Yeah. No, no. This is not detracting. We're looking at positive stuff. This is a positive Superman stuff. We're not. I'm not here to detract Campia. You're not saying with Campia.
Reason
You like
I
the
like
movie.
steak and I like ice cream. They're two totally different things,
Yeah.
but I absolutely love them both. And that
Well, actually, not really. That's a bad analogy because steak and ice cream are not the same type. They're different food groups. Superman, Man of Steel, and this Superman are in the same group, um, the same category. Steak and ice cream, yeah, they're both food, but ice cream is dairy, steak is meat. You can't. I'm sorry. It's like, sorry. A better analogy would be like a Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Compare it to like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not a good analogy because they're two different food groups. Superman, Man of Steel, and Superman are both Warner Brothers, and it's the same group, same genre. And I gotta go bathroom.
That's great. And I love Henry Cavill's interpretation of Superman. I love what Zack Snyder
There's
did in
no
Man of
audio.
Steel.
I just
But
got back.
that was one kind of flavor. James Gunn delivers a different flavor, and I think it's a flavor that was extremely timely and extremely needed right now. And Rob can attest to this. I was laughing my ass off through a lot of the movie.
You were.
And several times literally yelled out, "Holy shit." Because, guys, there are a couple things they do in this movie that you are going to hear some people around you go, "Holy shit."
Yeah.
Like
One in particular.
two in particular. That is like, I did not think they'd go there. Anyway, we won't go into spoilers here. We're not going to go into any spoilers here. By the way, I will do an open spoiler discussion on Sunday. That gives all of you guys plenty of time. That gives you today, tomorrow, and Saturday to go out and see the movie. We'll do an open spoiler discussion here on the channel on Sunday. David Cornsweet, I don't know that I will ever doubt James Gunn casting ever again. He's never given us a reason to. I mean, everybody looked at him funny. Wait a minute, you got the Parks and Rec guy to play Star-Lord? Like, but that turned out to be perfection. You had John Cena to play Peacemaker? Well, that turned out to be perfection. Casting David Cornsweet as Superman, as this iteration of Superman. He wouldn't have been perfect in Zack Snyder's Superman.
No.
But in this iteration of Superman, he was the perfect guy to cast. We knew from day one Rachel Brosnahan was the perfect Lois Lane, and she is. She so embodies the spirit of Margot Kidder, I found in that, and I just thought she was an absolutely fantastic.
You need to put a video on your StreamYard. You need to put a video on your StreamYard for breaks. I don't use StreamYard. I thought my internet went TJ. I thought my internet went TJ on me. No,
Fantastic.
no, I'm here.
And I can't say enough about Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I really can't. Because he pushes this line sometimes of feeling like this comic booky evil guy, and then he'll do something that makes you hold your breath. And Nicholas Hoult embodied all of it.
I'm ready for season
perfectly.
2.
One of the big things that we've heard coming out of all the early reactions and early reviews was the term, some variation of the term of, this is the most comic book movie we've ever seen. It is like the comic books literally leapt off the page and onto the screen, right? We've heard a lot of people say that. I get it now. I totally get exactly what they were saying. This was a
Yeah, but they're two different food groups. That's the thing. That's the thing. Nerd. I mean, spaghetti and fried chicken are two different food groups. Superman and Man of Steel are, yes, different movies, different takes, but they're both in the same genre. Same. That's the difference. Like, I could have my mother's spaghetti and I could have my aunt's spaghetti. Which one's better? My mother's spaghetti. Like, that's what I'm trying to separate. It's the groups, not. That's it.
living manifestation of a comic book, the spirit of comic books. In every way, shape, or form. And one of the things that this movie is unapologetic about is that this is a comic book movie that takes place in a world that's in a comic book. And it's unapologetic about it. And it never pulls its punches on it. And it leans into
That's
it,
true.
again, unapologetically.
That's true.
And it did not take long for our brains,
Not
the
every
people in
movie
the
we like
audience
talk
we saw it
about.
with at any rate, for our brains to tune into that. It tuned into it pretty quick.
I have to say, though, John, that did take me a minute. You know, because you have an expectation. We've seen Superman presented on screen a certain way, and I talked about this to my own last night.
So the shot of Steve Lambert saying he was going to stop was real. You know, sometimes accidents that get filmed, it happens. They admit it. Sometimes accidents, like screw ups, like botches during films, during the part of the filming process, they actually end up being part of the final cut of the film. The director actually might like what he sees from a botch, from a screw up, and be like, you know what, that actually works. That actually works. Just use that. It's happened. Box Bennett's center of gravity couldn't handle the gamble at the T craft was on. I'm not hating Campia. I'm just disagreeing with her.
And I had to. It took me a while to acclimate, and I can't say what scene I was keyed in on it, and like, oh, and it was like I was kind of. It was almost like my shoulder was out of joint or something, and then it finally went into its socket, and I'm like, okay. I have to tell you that there was a moment in this movie, and from remember the very first picture we ever saw of him in the suit where he's putting on his boots
and the alien outside the window.
You don't know what that is, and I didn't know what that was. And I was waiting. What that scene in this movie
killed me.
When we were dying. I mean,
we were dying.
I was dying. I'm like this. If you need to know what kind of movie it is, that particular scene in general.
I like that scene because the context behind that scene. Like, because that's when Superman, supposedly been exposed, right, because of his parents, and the Justice Gang was handling the dimension, the fifth dimensional imp. That I like the context. That scene was actually pretty good. It actually fit with the overall story of the film, and the lowest part of the movie, right?
And it goes on and on, and I was just grinning. When you get to that scene, a lot of people are gonna look.
I was like, I know what the scene was about, like the Lois and Clark. This was about what Superman was planning to do. Remember the people. Remember when because this is from the first pick of Superman with remember when people got butthurt over the picture of Superman taking off his boot. Now we know why he was taking off his boot. He told Lois he's going to give himself up to the authorities. This is what the scene's all about. You know
what it is? It's like I love comedies, and I love comedies like Tootsie, character-based comedies. But I also love Airplane and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I feel like most Superman movies have been like Tootsie. But this movie has a little bit of Airplane, has a little bit of Ace Ventura in it. And so you can like comedies, but they're like...
But to your point, it's dashes of it, right? It's not like it doesn't go...
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if they said the fifth dimension. I don't know. I don't remember what dimension. What dimension? That's a good question. That's a very good question, Degrassi. Fifth dimension. Okay, fifth dimension. Gun 8 Fight Club for that scene.
Thor, Love and Thunder. This or Spaceballs. Like this isn't a spoof.
No, it's not a spoof.
Dashes of
but
that.
It's making these big swings. It's totally Silver Age.
Yes.
It really goes into the Silver Age.
Exactly.
Where you're zipping between really serious stuff happening, but at the same time, it's bracketed by some crazy super science depiction that you're like, wow, this is a huge... like the cover of something. This is something Jack Kirby would draw, and there's a certain river in this movie. A river, they call it a certain. I was like, that's wild, man.
That's
yeah. This is the scene where he told Lois he was gonna give himself up to authorities. Okay, this is the scene where their Justice Gang was fighting the imp, and told Lois he's gonna give himself up to authorities to Rick Flag and stuff. Yeah. They said fifth. We just know it's from a different dimension.
Tight comic book.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this wild, you know, and it becomes a big plot. And it jumps around like this, and I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. And I just found it delightful, but nothing more encompassed the movie to me than that scene that, from the very first picture they ever showed us, with that thing outside the window. That was the one I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on, and why is Superman why is he pulling his boots on if that thing's outside the window?
And by the way, I swear, no dialogue, no nothing. I'm not going to give away anything of context or anything like that. But in that scene,
yeah, he's not going to spoil it. It's because this is not a spoiler review. That's what. Okay.
Lois Lane is kind of us,
right?
Because she's talking to Superman, every once in a while she keeps kind of looking out the window, and it's like she's us. It's like, what about what's going on out there?
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And can I say, look, everybody knows that out of the 50, 60, 70, 80 comic.
That's the thing about Superman. He cares. He cares about his reputation so much that he's, the Justice Gang could. Yeah, right after John Cena's Peacemaker cameo. So he's like, yeah, the Justice Gang could take care of it.
Movies we've seen. There have been maybe 3 times that I have appreciated romantic chemistry. Tony and Pepper, Peter and Gwen with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Druig and Makari. I don't like my romance. I don't really care about that. Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet chemistry was...
Actually, I know they're not going to continue the romance, but I thought Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, I would put them up there too, despite despite not continuing that romance, and whenever the Batman Part 2 comes out, if they do. Gunn loves Batmite. He does. Okay. I do think the Zoe Kravitz Robert Pattinson thing. Actually, I do think I would put him up there too. That romance. Just because of how much they're kind of alike at times and how they're a little different too.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome. I believed that relationship, and they didn't idealize the relationship either.
No.
It's a relationship.
Even though Catwoman and Batman were technically not in a relationship in the Batman, didn't become official. It was just
that has issues, and I just love their chemistry together.
I was telling you this earlier, my only criticism of the movie is clearly I think the movie was much longer. And there's all these secondary characters that are all great. Like Wendell Pierce as Perry White. He's really shortchanged in the movie. And I'm sure that James Gunn had a cut of this movie that was like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it was spectacular. But they said, look.
Gorilla Grodd in Creature Commandos. Yeah, we saw Gorilla Grodd in Creature Commandos. Yep.
We can't do it. We got to cut this movie down. It's the first movie. It's coming out of the gate.
By the way, that's not what we're saying happened. We're saying that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it felt like these characters. Look, Jimmy Olsen has kind of a side story, like this ongoing.
That was gold.
It was gold. It was so gold, and I'm
gold.
like, I want to see. There was a comic. Darkseid was actually introduced in the comic Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Yep.
The entire fourth world that Jack Kirby created. I want them to make a Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen movie after seeing this film. I'm like, he deserves it. He get all of the characters.
He is an unexpected highlight, though. I was not expecting, I was expecting something from Mr. Terrific, something from Green Lantern, something from Hawk Girl.
Yeah, check it out if you can, man. They're not long episodes. Check out Creature Commandos. I think they're like 30 minutes. Superman VOD in August? No. I'm gonna say late September or October. I'm gonna say most likely October. Oh, VOD? October. I'm gonna go October, Degrassi. I don't think they're gonna at the end of August. No.
I wasn't really expecting anything out of Jimmy Olsen, and he was a very pleasant surprise.
I mean, I thought Guy Gardner was going to grate on me. No,
he was.
And great. Mr. Terrific is great.
He kind of steals all the scenes.
Oh my God! And even what Isabel Merced got to do, she got just a little stuff, but she's great too. Loved it all.
I love she special it again, not giving any point away, but when you see her throughout the film, you realize all of it getting understand her personality.
I think with Isabel Merced, Nick, I think she was underused compared to the other two. Obviously, Mr. Terrific was used the most, right? Obviously, he was used the most. Guy Gardner had a little bit more, right, than Isabel Merced. Guy Gardner was, I think, for the parts he was in, showing the kind of character he is. Okay, showing the smugness, the jerk side of him. I think that's Guy Gardner. Hawkgirl was kind of like just there. When does Sinners start going VOD? I know I could watch. Okay.
But all of it is leading up to one moment that comes later. That was one of my holy shit moments.
Yeah. I love her. I think she's just got charisma to burn. She's beautiful. Right, her attitude. I mean, she's great.
It's just great. So let's talk about the secondary characters. But you know what? No, since you brought it up, let me go on that first. Because you and I talked after the movie, and I completely agree. The one issue for me with Superman, and I cannot remember the last time I ever said this about any movie. Normally my number one complaint out of most movies is like they needed to tighten it up. They needed to shorten this down a bit, take 15 minutes out. It would have been a better package. This is the first time in ages that I came out of a movie and I went, it was too short.
Yeah, yes.
It was too short.
Oh man. Here's the thing. If he thought this movie's too short, he's probably gonna say the same thing about Fantastic Four. He's going to say the same thing about Fantastic Four. I have a feeling he's going to say the exact same thing about Fantastic Four because Fantastic Four definitely, and they even admitted this, to cut down the time. Okay? They even admitted that Fantastic Four originally was over 2 hours. Let's cut down to an hour and 55 minutes. Oh, yeah. He might think. I have a feeling he's going to say the exact same thing about Fantastic Four. Long ass intro though, very slow burn, right? So I think he's going to say the same thing about Fantastic Four about the pacing.
And 100%. I 100% agree with you that I feel like James Gunn, again, we're not saying this is what happened, it's just what it feels like to us, that James Gunn was really sensitive about the movie feeling too drawn out and maybe overcompensated a bit. Because one thing you can't deny.
I think that's what Matt Shakman felt too at Marvel Studios with Fantastic Four. Maybe.
Not, this movie moves. Like Anne said after the movie,
does move.
Wait, that was 2 hours? I'm like, I thought it was 90 minutes.
It felt like it was 90 minutes.
It feels like it's 90 minutes because it moves so quick.
You know, I read in some article.
That's a sign of a good movie. Good movies are quick.
I don't know if this is true or not, that the movie opened originally when it was cut together showing like a week in the life of Clark, of Superman, like day to day, and they abandoned that structure.
Let me read this. Sinners. I know. Okay, maybe August. I'll still say September. DeGrasse, once we get a notice when the box office starts drying for it. To be fair, we did see Superman and Barbie. Bad Boys was over 2 hours and it felt like 30 minutes. Yeah, it did. Bad Boys 2. Oh, yeah.
I could believe that that's true. Like, I'm sure editing this movie, they probably... Look, people don't understand. When you shoot what you've got, but you rewrite a movie in the edit bay. A movie's written 3 times. On paper, during production, and in the edit bay. I'm sure he had so much gold to look at with all these actors. Because the actors... Yeah. I thought Nathan Fillion was going to annoy me as Guy Gardner. He did not. It was hilarious. He killed it.
No. 45 days. I thought they got rid of that. Warner Buyers.
Killed it. And all the actors were so much fun. I'm sure for James Gunn trying to put this together going, God, there's gold in them Thar hills. And I mean, there was not, everything was hilarious. And the tones were shifting from moment to moment, and it all worked. I mean, this movie was delightfully entertaining to me.
And let's talk about Eddie for a second, who I always butcher his last name, as Mr. Terrific. Love that they were putting Hot Girl in, Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I was like, really? You're going to use Mr. Terrific? Really? Can't imagine this movie without him.
Oh, he's so good.
There's a scene that you do see in one of the trailers when like he's got a bunch of soldiers around him and he puts like this force field around Lois. There's a clip of that in one of the trailers. Fabulous scene. That is like all.
Mr. Terrific might be the best part. It's a cash cow? Okay. But do you think they might, for this movie, depending on the one of the money, if the money starts drying up, which I think it will be in a couple weeks, do you think then maybe then I can see that happening? But if not, do you think they might change it a bit?
Mr. Terrific, and what they do with the cinematography in that scene, whereas other filmmakers shake the camera.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. August VOD, so you have to pay for it on August, and then streaming, it will be free on HBO Max. Yeah, Mr. Terrific stole the movie. October physical.
Try to create this fake sense of energy. Because
I did notice this because I remember Thunderbolts. I saw Thunderbolts went to VOD and you had to pay for it. Now it's on Disney for free. Yeah, Sinner stayed in theaters until this weekend, and they did say they pulled it out. Yeah, they pulled it out this weekend. You're right, DeGrasse. So it's possible they might keep this movie in. Well, I think this movie will still be in theaters in August. So it's possible it'll be on VOD and in the theater.
Cinematography does in that scene, though, this highlight marquee Mr. Terrific action sequence, is that they move the camera, and it's in such a way that you feel disoriented with it, but you're actually seeing everything that's going on, and it created this kinetic energy as you're watching it, and like our audience loved that scene. That went over really, really great. So he was fantastic, guys. And I gotta say, I said this in my out of the theater reaction. Again, I confess, year ago when it came out that they were putting Krypto, the super dog, into this movie, I said, guys, that's a step too far. It's a step too far.
I read a Plastic Man comic where he teamed up with Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho. Oh man, yeah. That could be a hell of a funny team. The Terrifics. That could be a fun comedic team. Fun team to do. Mr. Terrific, Plastic Man, and Metamorpho. Oh man. I think Metamorpho definitely joined the Justice Gang at the end of Superman. He was there with the Justice Gang when he went to Borvia. He was there with the Justice Gang. Right? So, yeah.
I want lighter. I want like something joyful, but I think putting in the super dog is a step too far. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Every time Krypto was on screen, you heard in reactions from the audience in our crowd.
Darren Oskowski and Aaron Astor are co-writing Plastic Man with Bill Hader. No, Degrassi Crescent. Is that a movie or a TV show? Would that be an HBO show, streaming show?
I ended up loving that damn dog, and boy, does he have a payoff at the end.
You know what? I have to say, there's people that are spoiling everything. You know, the people that are angry about certain things. You know, I was thinking to myself the whole movie. You're thinking to yourself, okay, you're watching this, and Krypto has a cape. And Krypto has this little dog tag with the S symbol. The payoff at the end.
Oh my God!
When you find, I mean, especially if you know people have dogs. It It was so perfect. It floored me. And again, if you
the ending made sense. The ending made complete sense why Crypto would attack Lex Luthor at the ending. I mean, movie, dark comedy, body horror. Whoa. I don't know. Plastic Man is a dark comedy character? I don't know. Body horror. I don't know if Plastic Man fits that. I mean, to me, Plastic Man has always been seen as a cheesy comedy joke character, not a dark comedy body horror type of character.
if you bought the bit, if you buy into this world, and I think a lot of people might not, but if you do, I mean, there's so much in this movie that I can't wait to see it again. But that in particular killed me.
Oh my god!
Because when you're like, of course he has a cape.
That happens.
Of course he has a cape.
Superman wasn't going to hit Lex, so Crypto did instead.
And can I say, Alan Tudyk as number 4?
Oh yeah,
as the droid number. Now I said, Mike, listen, I loved Alan Tudyk as the droid, loved him. But when I came out, I said to our group of friends, where all of us are standing around, I said, the one thing is, he's really just K2SO. Not because he's a robot, but he's actually talking just like him and says exactly what K2SO
Yeah, it
said.
sounded like him in the trailer.
But Ann turned to me and said, yeah, and because it's like, it worked. He's got a line at the end of the movie that he's funny throughout the movie, but he's got one line near the end of the movie that just, again, absolutely killed me. I love that. The Miss Tessmacher, straight out of the Christopher Reeve kind of spirit of the movies, was great.
Elegant Man, yeah. Spot felt like a joke character, but it turns out he is one scary mofo. Spot was fun. Like Spot, they made him very dangerous in Spider-Verse, man, and he's going to be a big factor in the second part. Ed O'Brien was a criminal when this accident happened. It's like the comedic version of Clayface. Elegant Man is more serious, so maybe him instead. Oh yeah, they had Alligator Man in the CW verse, but they fired him because of recent past discussions came up.
And she's
updated
for
the modern age,
and has her own little sub story going on, which was wonderful. Again, man, this is just a wonderful, joyful film. Now, let me say this though. And I like to preface this on all movies that I really love, but particularly this one. This Superman movie is not going to be for everybody. There are things.
Plastic Man is in the terrific. Elegant Man is not. Plastic Man can be menacing. He inspired our fog. He inspired our fog a bit. Okay, so. Yeah, the Superman movie is not going to be
About
everyone.
this Superman movie that you hear me explaining that are reasons why I love it. But for some people, depending on your sensibility, the reasons we love it might actually be the reason somebody else doesn't like it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Here's an example, right? Somebody could say, John, you got to try these wings. They got this great spice to it that really kicks. I hate spicy food. I don't know if you knew this, but I cannot eat spicy food. I hate spicy food. So the whole reason you are loving that chicken wing legitimately will also legitimately be the reason I don't like the chicken wing, because spice works for you. Hot spice works for you, but it does not work for me. And therefore that wing will not be a positive experience for me. I think the vast majority of people are going to love this movie, as is being proved out by the numbers. But at the same time, I think there are going to be well-meaning people that go into this movie hoping to have a good time, and the tone that James Gunn decides to adopt that works for most people is just simply not going to work for them.
Oh, yeah.
And this is not going to be a movie for everybody, Rob.
You know, I really was reminded, like the Justice League, I loved the Justice League when I was a kid. And even though there was the Super Friends cartoons and stuff, I took the Justice League seriously. In the mid-'80s, post Crisis on Infinite Earths, they came out with a new Justice League comic that Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis did. And it was comedic. Kevin Maguire drew it.
Right.
Guy Gardner was a big...
Remember this, Degrassi?
It was straight up comedy.
Remember this, Degrassi?
I was loathing this comic. I was like, how dare you make it... I loved it. I loved that comic. It was great. And sometimes it went too far. But it introduced...
Okay.
This movie is that Justice League comic. It is that the Keith Giffen, it is that Kevin Maguire thing. I saw a picture. Kevin Maguire, I follow him on X. We follow each other. I saw Kevin Maguire at the premiere, a picture of him. I wanted to contact him and ask him. I'm like, dude, you must have been sitting in that theater with a gigantic grin on your face because he changed the way superhero faces were drawn in comics forever. Yeah. And that's what this was. And if you like that comic, and I bet people are going to go get that comic that...
Oh my God, Degrassi. if he doesn't eat spicy food, he probably doesn't munch Annie's box off. Oh my God. I love that book from the second I first read it. The date it hit stands. I just can't get over this. Wow.
Never read it before. There's great omnibus editions because you get that feel. And that's clearly what James Gunn was going for. That is not what everybody wants. It's not what everybody wants. But I loved it. And seeing it writ large on the big screen, I had no idea. Like, they had a really interesting government component in this movie. That was really neat how they handled that. Again, I could have seen that more expanded, but there was like Lex Luthor's addressing the government at one point. I'm like, this is really interesting. And it was really, I was fascinated by the world itself, and I could have sat there for another 2 hours.
I'm going to say, somebody in the live chat, like,
Nathan Fillion made Guy face like Kevin Maguire drew Guy's faces. He was the perfect guy, wasn't he, Guy Gardner? He was the perfect role. Perfect casting for that role, huh?
Yachi in the live chat saying, John, that's what divisive is. No, it's not. If that's what divisive is, then everything is divisive because there's not one thing that everybody loves. Divisive is when it's like half the people like it,
except ninjas.
Except ninjas. No division there. But I mean, when you got 95% and 85%, that's not divisive.
Yeah. No.
Like if you're saying if even one person out there doesn't like something,
you
that's
divided
divisive.
us.
Well, then every single thing in the world is divisive. It's not divisive at all. But I also got to say,
they shot some scenes with a generic American president being dumb, like they do. Of course, not surprised, Degrassi. Nathan was accent, straight out of the comics.
You know, Rob, when I'm looking back at the movie, I'm not saying this is the greatest comic book movie of all time. I'm not even saying yet that it has hit Man of Steel as my all-time favorite Superman movie. I'm just saying this was a great, joyous, fun experience. And it delivered on its promise.
It was wildly entertaining. You know, I did not expect, the messianic. You know what's really interesting? The Superman, his suit. People have been talking about his suit. They don't.
The Snyder Bros think it's decisive. Yeah. You don't know what decisive means.
Like the trunks.
Right. I don't like the trunks.
By the end of that movie, his Superman suit is perfect for that universe. And he looked like when he's being taken out in shackles, you've seen that picture everywhere. I'm like, it all works. Even the Justice Gang, their Maxwell Lord.
So good.
It all works. It all, for what it is in context. Look, there's going to be a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that want to when you cosplay characters, you want to cosplay because you want to feel like you're Wonder Woman or Superman or whatever. this is a different flavor of that. I know people will be cosplaying these characters, but it's a different vibe.
By the way, I got to throw this in there too, because I've seen some people say, "Oh, this sounds like a movie that's really more aimed for kids." It's really not.
No.
It's really aimed more for adults who have read Silver Age. But more than this, like a couple of our friends who came to this movie, like after the movie, we're talking, and they've got.
If they really knew any real ninjas, they would know how to buy the ninjas are right now. Sure, everybody loves ninjas. You know who doesn't love ninjas? Other ninjas. Facts, Degrassi. Facts. Very homemade.
They got a son, you know, and a good kid, and like they were saying, I don't know if we can show him this. Because again, I'm not going to go into details, but there's some stuff some parents may not want their kids seeing. Like that, I was like, whoa. Like, so I just think James Gunn understood the assignment and he delivered. It is the fulfillment of the promise of Superman. And I said this in my Out of Theater review, Rob.
James Gunn understood the assignment because he wrote the assignment. I mean, if you write the assignment, shouldn't you understand your assignment? What? I've got to turn the light for a second, guys. Be right back. James got multi-assignment though, so of course he understood assignment because he wrote it and directed it, filmed it, worked on it. It's his assignment. It's this assignment he came up with. I mean, you know how stupid it would look if you don't understand your assignment you come up with? If you come with your own assignment, you don't understand the assignment you come up with, you know how stupid you look? It's like, if I come up with an assignment on something, I better freaking understand what I come up with, right? Yeah, he molds the characters into suiting the actor. That's why we're not casting directors. Okay, we fan cast. Okay.
But this is the greatness of this Superman. The greatness of this Superman does not come from his power, because forces of nature have power. The true weight of this character, and when I found myself most sitting up in my seat, is his character. It's his morals.
His heart.
It's his
Morals,
kindness.
ethics,
It's his goodness. It's his empathy. It's his moral North Star. That by the end of this movie, I said something that I haven't felt since.
Which, despite everything that goes on towards him in this movie, that has not made him question all that.
Gosh, maybe one of the early Chris Evans Captain America movies. I felt inspired to be a better person. When's the last time you were able to say that coming out of a comic book movie? Like watching this Superman, this make-believe character in these stupid red trunks and whatever, and say, this guy on screen inspires me to want to be a better person. And that's where the power of this movie is, Rob, for me. Like, the joy of it is great. The humor.
You're seeing it again tomorrow? Aren't you seeing a Fantastic Four movie tomorrow screening, Degrassi, or are you not? Are you seeing both movies tomorrow, or are you just seeing... I thought you were seeing a Fantastic Four screening tomorrow. I thought you told me you're seeing a Fantastic Four tomorrow, too. That's probably why this is more humble Superman. I mean, Superman should be humble. Humble, down to earth, right? Superman's always been perceived as a humble, down to earth kind of character, right? Like, okay. Superman is meant to be an inspiring character. Yes, twofer, okay. All in the afternoon or at night?
Is wonderful.
I'll just say about Fantastic Four. I saw the social embargo hit, and most of them people say, yeah, the family dynamic is cool, but the story is non-consensual, and the visual facts are great. And I'm like, are top notch. I'm like, yeah, that kind of sounds like a Zack Snyder movie, almost. Don't please. If the story is disorganized, or anything like that, please, like stop saying that. That sounds like a Zack Snyder movie. Besides, that sounds like a Zack Snyder movie. Great visual effects. Yeah, that sounds like a Zack Snyder movie to me. I hope Fantastic Four is not like a Zack Snyder movie. And by the way, some people saw the whole film, and some people saw 30 to 40 minutes of Fantastic Four. You should not be able to write an embargo review, a social media review, if you watch 30 to 40 minutes. Now you end the stream.
The action is great. But for me, at the end of the day, the power is I walked out of that, kind of like the way I walked out of that Mr. Rogers documentary going,
if you give me a $10 super chat, I'll end the stream.
Damn it, I want to be a better person. That's what this Superman did for me. And to me, that's the true strength of it. So, by the way, Metamorpho was great too. I just want to throw
Metamorpho was great. I mean, another thing I was like, no, Metamorpho actually has a scene that actually instilled me with a little bit of awe and wonder.
It was the Eternals until the Russos butchered it. Oh, you like the Eternals, huh? It was the Eternals until the Russos butchered it.
He does something in the movie where I was like, wow, what a cool way to utilize. Look, as a lover of that Justice League comic from the mid '80s, that's what this was. And I think to know that going in, there was just little things. There was lots of mayhem going on, right? There was one moment with Crypto where we just kind of catch up to where Crypto is. Like, where's Crypto? And there's a scene that shows it's just one shot, which was hilarious. I'm like, of course, that's where Crypto is.
I loved it. I just can't get over. And you know what? A part of my reaction, I confess, is the word you started off the show with today, Rob. Relief. Like a part of it is just like, because remember, I've said forever going, I don't need this to be the best comic book movie ever made.
Yeah.
I just need this movie to be good. It delivers more than that.
My only gripe with Eternals, it didn't look like Kirby art. I let it pass if it did. Yeah.
Again, it's just such a fun, different kind of. I've never seen a comic book movie like this.
That's what my partner says. He saw it a while back. So your partner didn't like the movie, huh? Did he like the movie? So it sounds like your partner didn't like the movie.
At least not one like this that's delivered on.
Hey, DeGrassi, I have a question for you. I know you didn't hate Eternals. If I was in Nashville, hypothetically, would you invite me to the screening? It's up to you.
This level.
I'll tell you one thing though, I can't wait to see more movies set in this universe.
Oh my God, me too.
I mean, I was just
we literally get no screenings. Marvel and DC, they literally don't give us screenings up here.
Because I was
well, that's what I was just thinking. Because you said I can't wait to get back into this. I'm like, well, Supergirl is going to be right.
Well, okay. Yes, all I'm saying is, boy.
Listen, it's not a.
He's not a big fan of any of those. This shit.
It's public knowledge. They put it out that Supergirl does appear in the movie. Our audience lost their minds. I can't speak for every movie theater is different.
And that was not a spoiler. Supergirl being in the movie was not a spoiler. That was confirmed.
Her movie theater might have been quiet, but our movie theater with the words, "Your cousin is here." All this, and then what happened? I'm not going to say what happened.
Thank you, Degrassi.
And our audience went crazy. There was a big reaction out of our audience.
Again, look, it's the tone of this movie. What you are expecting.
And Frankie says, stop spoiling. Guys, they publicly announced that Supergirl was going to make. We talked about this for months.
Multiple times we've talked
this
about
is not a spoiler. This was public knowledge, all right?
It's Millie Alcock.
The show I attended at Chiefs on Broadway was refreshing and inspiring. The yesterday's show,
Spoiler.
And they're putting.
We've only known for like a year.
There are people. Here's a funny thing: if you were to just list what a lot of the stuff that happens in this movie, if you were just to put it out on paper, a lot of people would be like, "What is this goofiness? Like, what is this?" But if you watch it in context, you've got to watch it in context, and you got to go in with the right attitude about what you're going to see.
I'm going to end it
because I was delighted by most of it. I just thought it's wildly entertaining, and it was so different than what you might expect. But there's
all right, I gotta end it anyway. Oh man, it's positive to stream, guys. Positive. Thank you all for listening, guys. Tomorrow we're not doing positive streams, we're detracting tomorrow. That's what we're planning to do. Is tomorrow is detract. Okay, and so yeah, Joe Brigg, how about next day of Hollywood? Yep, you posted that in the chats. In the group chat, I think he posted it publicly. But yeah, so we're going to do detracting tomorrow. Next week, I'm not sure what I'm doing Saturday. Okay? I'm not sure what I'm doing Saturday. Let me see. Peacemaker has a panel for Saturday. I'm not sure if I'm doing a Comic-Con watch along this time. There's no Marvel Studios and no DC Studios, so it's the chance of doing a Comic-Con panel watch along, whatever, like I did last year with Marvel Studios in the Penguin, is very slim. I might do the Peacemaker only because Superman ties into that, so I might do the Peacemaker one, but I'm not sure. So that either means a Fantastic. I do think. Let me check the panel. Peacemaker panel. What time that is? Peacemaker panel. What time is that? Let me see. Peacemaker sneak up. Oh, it's at 3:30? 3:30 Pacific time. So that's 6:30 my time. Fuck. Okay, so maybe I'll do the Fantastic Four spoiler review Friday night. Okay? And then we'll do this panel thing Saturday, 6:30. So that's 6:30 my time. Hey, JFC Fansfic, you're coming at the end. So, okay, so I'll do the Fantastic Four spoiler review Friday night. Okay, and then I'll do the Peacemaker panel at 6:30 my time next week. And it's about an hour long. Okay, hour long. All right, guys.